Okay, today I want to do a really family-friendly recipe for you that's super easy to make and is a real crowd pleaser. And it's something you can really get the kids involved with. It's 2-ingredient pizza dough, and you really don't need a recipe for it. You just need to remember that it's always going to be equal parts of self-rising flour and Greek yogurt. You have to use self-rising flour. There's no alternative to that because you need the salt and the leavener, the chemical leavener that's in that particular flour product. And I really find that you want to use the Greek yogurt as best as possible. You can use fat, whole fat, non-fat, that's up to you. Remember, not the flavored yogurts or any of the ones with the sugar at the bottom. It should be just regular plain yogurt or you're going to taste it in your pizza. The yogurt gives the dough kind of a nice tang, the way that we expect to have a pizza dough after the fermentation process. So I have a 1/2 cup of self-rising flour and a 1/2 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. I'm gonna add them together. This is so quick and simple because you're going to go right from mixing this dough, this 2-ingredient dough, right to making your pizza. Unlike regular traditional pizza doughs that you add yeast to them and they require at least a minimum of an hour to do a bowl rise, this one you get used right away. You can see it just easily comes right together. Got a little bit of dough, and this is going to be a personal pan pizza. This will be enough for 1 or 2 if you're willing to share it. Right. I'm going to set that aside, and I want to get my pan ready. Now you can use a regular baking sheet. You could just put oil down, or you could put parchment paper down, or a little bit of cornmeal. It's up to you. But I want to use my 10-inch cast iron skillet because I think that it's going to give it like a nice crispy crust and browning on it. So I want to prepare that. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to it. Don't overdo it. You don't want it to be greasy. And I'm just going to spread it around. Alrighty. I'm going to put my dough in. I have a little bit of flour here on the side so that I can flour my hands as I'm working with the dough because it is going to be a little bit sticky. So do keep that in mind and expect that to happen. You didn't do anything wrong if it's a little bit sticky. Right, and I'm just going to use it to pat it out. I'm going to pat it into the pan. Again, I'm using just a little bit of flour each time just so that I'm not getting the dough all over my fingers. I want it in the pan. Right? Be patient with it a little bit at a time. Remember how much time you're saving and not having to wait for the dough to rise. And I'm not going to fill the whole pan with this. I'm probably going to make about an 8-inch size pizza crust. Alrighty. Now, the wonderful thing about pizzas is that you can put anything on it that you like. I'm going to do a vegetarian style, but you could add pepperoni, sausage, deli ham, whatever you want. You can put it on there. I'm going to start by putting a little bit of sauce on. I have some tomato sauce. And another great thing that I like about doing this recipe is you can use a lot of leftover stuff that you have in your refrigerator. You don't need a whole lot of toppings to do this. And if you're out of shredded cheese, you could probably even just use a few slices of deli sliced cheese for this as well. All right. Let's pause for a second so I can wash my hands. All right, I'm going to season my sauce a little bit. I like a little bit of garlic powder in mine. Again, you can put anything that you like. I just happen to like this flavor. I'm gonna add a little fresh oregano. Well, I'm sorry, it's a little bit of dried oregano. I don't have any fresh currently. A little bit of just regular canned Parmesan cheese. Shake some of that on. I like a lot of cheese. And I have some shredded part skim mozzarella. You can use whole milk, it's up to you. I like extra cheese. I'm putting on probably about a half a cup of cheese, maybe a little bit more. And then I'm gonna put on some diced bell pepper, some red onion, and some black olives to mine. Alrighty. It's all topped and ready to go in the oven. You want to put it in a preheated 350-degree oven, and it's going to take anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes to bake. Alright everybody, it's been actually about 18 minutes. I wanted my pizza to get a little bit more brown. I think depending on how many toppings you put on top may affect the length of time they need to be in the oven, and I really loaded mine up good. It's all ready. There we have it. All right. Thank you for joining me for 2-ingredient pizza dough.